In NextMove, we find North American missions agencies are at all different places in their development and in their understanding of diaspora missions. NextMove, over the last few years of our work in our NextMove teams with our NextMove representatives, we have been cultivating a plan and a kind of a program for how we can help agencies get better. And we just call this our pathway guidance process. So if your agency is perhaps looking for some help with integrating diaspora missions more fully into your agency's structures and strategies and planning, we would invite you to join us in our NextMove agency pathway guidance process. So what that would basically mean is you would talk to us in NextMove, perhaps the person within your agency who is kind of most tasked with being responsible for diaspora in your agency. We would have an initial conversation with them, and we would invite them to complete 3 different initial assessments that look at your agency through 3 slightly different lenses. One, it kind of focuses on the desired outcomes that the agency has. What are the things that you're focused on or would like to see happen in your agency and diaspora missions? One seeks to gain an understanding of kind of what type of agency you are and some specific defining characteristics of your missions agency. And then the third really tries to help the agency discern developmentally on specifically the subject of diaspora, maybe how far the agency has gone in its diaspora understanding already. So we would have you walk through these initial assessments, and then our NextMove team would take a thorough review of those assessment results, sit down and have some interviews and conversations with you and with your missions leadership, and then produce kind of an executive report to give you a good overall summary of what we feel like your results are related to diaspora ministry. And then you and your ministry team within the agency itself would sit down and start reviewing that report, deciding what action steps you may need to take next to begin that implementation process. And some of us from NextMove, a little guidance team, would walk with you every step of the way along that, at least for the first initial phases as you begin to develop a plan. So that's just a little bit about kind of how our NextMove guidance process works. In addition to kind of that overall view, we then are also developing several very specific modules that address specific threads or themes in diaspora missions that we could build into that guidance process to really try to help move the agency in a direction that you see as potentially most fruitful for you in diaspora ministry.